Welcome to Daily English Practice for You.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at marriage, specifically through this really interesting story from India.
Yeah, it follows two childhood friends, Arav and Mira.
Exactly. And they take, well, completely different routes to getting married. We've got this narrative source showing their journeys, plus some points comparing arranged and love marriages.
And our aim really is to unpack what these experiences can show us about love, about commitment, things relevant to anyone, thinking about relationships or just curious about different ways of doing things.
Totally. The story makes it so much more real than just talking concepts.
You actually see it play out with Arav and Mira.
So let's start with Arav. He was always more inclined towards an arranged marriage, like his parents had.
Right.
And when he felt ready, his parents found someone Anjali. Good family, similar background, that kind of thing.
And the story points out it wasn't about some instant spark, was it?
No, not at all. It was built more on, family trust and that shared foundation first.
Which really gets at a key idea presented for arranged marriage. The weight given to family backing, shared values, the whole lifestyle compatibility thing. The idea that love can grow from that.
And Anjali felt the same, apparently. Believed it could develop.
And the narrative shows it did, right? But gradually.
Yeah, really nicely done. It shows how these little everyday things, sharing tea, going for walks, that's how their connection sort of bloomed. Not fast, but steady.
A very different picture from Mira's story.
Oh, completely. Mira always dreamed of a love marriage. And she found it with Rohan, a colleague.
Someone she already connected with, shared interests, support.
Absolutely. That immediate bond, the mutual understanding, which our source flags as a big plus for love marriages.
That emotional head start, you could say.
But her path wasn't smooth either. Her parents had major issues with Rohan.
Because of caste differences?
Yes. For anyone listening who might not know, the caste system in India, it's a form of social hierarchy, and marrying outside your group can sometimes lead to real family opposition.
So Mira had the joy of finding her person, but then faced this huge hurdle with her family.
Big time. Which, again, ties back to what the source material mentions as potential downside of love marriages, that risk of clashing with family expectations.
Her having to fight for Rohan, that adds another layer.
What gets me, though, is how different their starting points were. Urav, very traditional arranged setup. Mira fighting for her love match.
And yet,
both end up married within the same year. It just screams that there's no single correct formula,
Exactly. The paths look wildly different, but the destination, in this case marriage, was reached around the same time.
So then the source kind of steps back and analyzes the pros and cons it sees.
Right. For love marriage, you already know the person, that existing emotional bond is a plus. But potential for family drama, like Mira saw, and maybe the initial intensity fades.
And then for arranged marriage, the big pro is often family support and that focus on compatibility and core values and life goals from the outset.
But the cons are there too. Maybe missing that initial chemistry. And it takes real time, real effort to build trust and, well, love.
You can totally see Arav's story reflecting the initial uncertainty, the slow build.
And Mira's story showing the flip side, the initial happiness hitting that wall of family disapproval. It maps quite closely to the analysis provided.
So where does that leave us? The conclusion from the source seems pretty clear. One way isn't inherently better than the other.
No, it really shifts the focus. It's less about how the marriage started.
And more about what actually makes any marriage work, regardless of its origins.
Yeah, the essentials.
Yeah.
The source highlights mutual respect, understanding each other, communication, real communication, and being willing to grow together.
These aren't exclusive, are they? They apply everywhere.
Well.
You see Arav and Anjali building understanding through those small moments.
And Mira and Rohan needing that communication and mutual support to get through the family issues.
The source also makes a point about love itself, doesn't it?
It does. That it's not just about the beginning, whether it's love at first sight or an arranged meeting. It's presented more as an ongoing process, something you actively nurture and build over time.
Okay, so summing up a bit, we have Arav's arranged marriage, love growing slowly, Mira's love marriage, facing down challenges.
Both leading to marriage, showing diverse paths are possible.
And the analysis points to pros and cons for each, but ultimately lands on those universal elements. Respect, communication, understanding, growth. That's the foundation.
It really makes you think about how individual choice and, family or societal structures interact when people form partnerships.
So a final thought for you listening. Considering Arav and Mira and the points raised, What do you think is the most crucial ingredient for making a relationship last and be fulfilling? Definitely something to mull over.